Hey, Bestie. Welcome to the Best Bestie podcast. Okay, serious question. Have you ever been in a fight with a friend and be like, I don't know if I should forgive you or say, fuck you?
Fuck you!
Ladies.
Because sometimes it's really hard to tell. It could be a real 50-50 split, like no obvious answer. Today, we're walking that fine line between grace and goodbye, between holding space and holding grudges.
Ooh, that's good.
Between frolicking and fighting.
Oh.
Between cherishing and choking.
You
guys made your
Okay.
point.
Bring it
Sorry.
back.
The
Get me
line,
fired up.
the line gets real blurry when the emotions get high and the
true.
group chats get dry.
Yeah. It's true.
Y'all ready for this one?
Let's go.
My name is An, and joining me are my two best friends, Anna and Lisa.
Hello. You like that button over there, huh?
Fuck yeah.
You just
Hit that again.
Fuck
Fuck
it a couple
that
times.
shit. Fuck that
Fuck that motherfucker.
My ladies.
Okay. Look, sometimes the fastest way to move forward is just to let it out.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about passing gas.
I mean, you can do that too. Yeah, it's not good to hold that in.
It's probably not a good idea to hold it in. But I'm talking about letting that tension out.
Right.
You know, tension doesn't usually scream,
Yeah.
right away. It kind of builds up in the background, kind of unnoticeable. But if you let it build up for long enough, eventually it's the only thing that you can hear. You start snapping at your friend, getting short with them.
That's not good.
Withdrawing your energy.
Yeah.
And making passive jabs. I mean, you don't
That's the
really
worst.
consciously know what's going on, but I think it's obvious you feel something's off. Like, Lisa, I don't know if you remember, but that one time we had some tension build up before you got on that 7 train.
Girl, how could I forget?
Oh, wait, never letting that one go.
I mean, I definitely felt the vibes and I could feel something was off.
Yeah.
I started to pick up on cues. I remember I asked you how your anniversary dinner was. And you said, it was fine. And you know, when someone says, it was fine, you know what that really means, right? And then another time was we were planning a double date in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then I had called you and I said, where are we going? And where are we going later in Brooklyn? And you were
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do my own thing.
Ooh.
So I definitely...
We never do our own thing.
What you mean?
So it's all that little small stuff, and it started to add up, and I can definitely feel that something wasn't right.
yeah.
I remember that so clearly, and I remember the peak of it. It was on a FaceTime call with Anna. You were there. Actually, no. The tension started before that. I
Right.
remember texting you, Lisa, the night before around 8 p.m. I settled in after the anniversary dinner, and I hit you up and say, hey, what you doing? And I didn't get a text back. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it was a long day, whatever. So I waited till the morning, and I text you, good morning. What are you doing today? And still no answer. And I think at that time, I was just like, what the fuck, And then I called our group chat because I was trying to reach you actually, and you actually picked up. And I remember seeing your face, and you're having breakfast, and you were just acting like nothing was wrong, and I was just boiling. I was like, how could you not text me back? And then
Yeah.
here you are, be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. No, I remember that. And then I remember on the call, we were asking you, what are you going to do for lunch? We asked something, and immediately you're very short, and you're like, I got to go. And you hung up. And I remember going through the chat, and I was like, hey, An, are you okay? And before I can finish, my spidey senses went, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And immediately I was like, delete. Right, new chat, on full. Hey, An, are you? And then you called me.
I remember that so clearly because I think at the time I hung up. I said, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just blowing a fuse.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't talk about anything because I was so hurt that I was like, do you not see I'm mad?
Yeah.
And I was feeling all kinds of emotions.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I feel really bad that I let it get to that point. I didn't even know it got there until honestly we got on that FaceTime call,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't control my emotions.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really would hate to treat you guys like that because I love you so much, which is why I feel like when that tension is building, I was the one that was feeling it, and I'm the one who should have probably said something earlier.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But also, I feel that if you're on the receiving end, and we've all been there, if you're on the receiving end and you feel that the energy is off,
Yeah.
it's also your responsibility to bring it up and do a temperature check and ask, hey, is everything okay? Hey, we good? Because reality is whenever you do have these moments, you can feel the energetic shift. And
Can't
it's
deny
up-
it.
Yeah, you felt it. You saw these little signs. So even if you're not the one that's getting triggered or you're getting hurt, you can feel it on the receiving side, and you need to be able to open up that line of communication, because there are times that you may be doing something that you're not aware of, and that's your responsibility to bring it up and ask.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you guys. But in my defense, and I know other people can relate to this situation too, is that I was just adjusting to a lot at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just moved to New York.
I just moved to New York.
I think it was like the first week.
It was definitely, and New York is a lot, right? So I'm not only am I adjusting to a new city, and it's the city.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting to a new work schedule, a new career, working remote.
Oh,
and
you moved in with your
Yes.
long distance
and
boyfriend.
I just adjusting to that. So I was learning. I wasn't looking at my phone because I was learning how to balance being present in person with him. And so honestly, I just didn't have the emotional bandwidth to juggle everything.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie. Have y'all ever felt like things are getting a little weird and you feel that hard conversation is about to come up, but you're low-key hoping someone else brings it up?
No, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I was like, I gotta go. I mean, that was like subconsciously me hoping that you'd be like, are you okay? Is there anything that I did that makes you feel any type of way whatsoever? And I would have been like, yes, actually. No, but I was like, I gotta go. So I feel you, because I low-key was doing the same thing. But I think it's really fair to both be accountable for our feelings.
Yes.
For communicating early when something is off. I mean, look, we've been best friends for over 11 years.
Yeah.
The tension has risen. The tension has gone. The tension will come back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we can't change that, but we could get better at bouncing back faster.
Yes.
And also healing and not hurting.
Right.
Yes, yes.
And something I really want to highlight is that there's no official rule book
Yeah.
to friendship.
I wish there was.
I know.
Honestly,
That's why we got the best Bestie podcast.
honestly, it would be a game changer if there was.
Yeah.
But because there's no rule book, there's no clear right or wrong.
Exactly.
Right? In or out, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at any action, the action by itself is neutral until somebody perceives it to be right and wrong.
Exactly.
For example, Anna, if I said, hey, I can't make it to this event, I got to cancel on you last minute. You might think to yourself, oh, she doesn't often do that. There must be something going on. Life moves on. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But if I might do the exact same thing to Lisa, hey, I'm going to cancel last minute, I can't make it, she might see it differently. She might see it as triggering an old wound that maybe either I had done to her in the past that she hasn't forgiven me for, maybe an abandonment wound that she feels like I'm not there for her.
Right.
It's the same action, but different meaning.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important not to just assume that because I think it's a right thing, that she will also think it's a right thing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you care enough about how your actions impact your friends, then you'll consider their perspective of your action, even if you think that it's okay. In friendship, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about how we make each other feel.
Yeah.
And the only way to bridge the gaps between how I feel and how you feel is just talk it out.
Yes.
Yep, and that is so true. And I have a story just comes right off the back of my mind. It's not with one of you besties, but with my boyfriend bestie, because your partner is your bestie, right?
Yep.
He typically works really long hours at a physical therapy gym. And so we had made plans this whole week on Sunday to do my favorite things.
What is that?
What?
Muay Thai and dim sum.
That sounds like a good
God.
day to
That
me.
is
Loves dim sum. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
super, super excited for this Sunday, right? He works long hours, and I'm so excited to spend the whole
And
day with
it's
him.
dim sum in Flushing, New York.
On a Sunday. This is like the
so
Super Bowl, right?
It really is.
Super excited. So I woke
We're
up.
getting excited now
I
talking about
know.
it.
I woke up and he had to see a client earlier that day virtually. And after he sees a client, I start waking up, and then he tells me last minute that he's not feeling well.
Oh, wait, isn't he a doctor?
Physical therapist.
Okay, sorry.
And so I was so triggered because we had made plans all day, and I just kind of started spiraling out. And I did what any logical or any girl spiraling out does, and she calls her bestie.
Yes, and I remember it very well. And you were super heated on the phone, but understandably so.
Nice.
And I remember saying to you, instead of crashing out, communicate. And I know that this move to New York is a huge move for you, but have you considered that it may be a huge move and adjustment for him too? And everything that you're sharing with me now about how you feel, what that meant to you, is really important to communicate to him and explain to him why you feel that way and let him know who you are.
Right, and so
That's a great advice,
I
by
know.
the way.
I'm so thankful because on the latter end, it would have been crashing out. So literally, instead of going home and crashing out on this poor man, I thought about it and I took into consideration what she was saying and looked at it on his side of the view, on his side. And I told him, when you cancel plans on me, it makes me feel like I'm not a priority.
Oh,
And
That's so vulnerable.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I had to tell him how I felt. And even though that I know that's not what he meant. And so that's the same same action of, canceling. And he thinks, we'll go take another class tomorrow. No big deal. But I wanted to feel like a priority. And I wanted to have that quality time with him.
like same action, different meaning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it reminded me that in relationships and friendships, it's not about who's right or what's the right move. It's about slowing down, seeing the person across from you, and caring to understand each other.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And hey, Lisa's man, you owe me bubble tea or dim sum. I like dim sum. I'll take both.
Anna, with the kind of advice that you've been given, I feel like we need a 1-800 call Anna hotline.
No, right?
Bro, with advice like that.
I love you. That's your best friend.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all don't have that number? Because we got that number. 1-800
Speed dial. But continuing on that vein, communication also bridges different realities. And so what I mean by that is that sometimes you may feel, and I'm sure you felt it before too, is that you feel that you're doing something that you perceive as right, but then it turns out to the other person, they perceived what you did as wrong. And then it becomes this huge misunderstanding. And that's why communication helps bridge those two realities together.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I sure am. And so I have an example. Very clearly, this one day, I was walking to the car with one of my friends who was pregnant, and it was raining, and I only had one umbrella. So I was really focused on trying to cover her, keep her dry.
Wait, how big was this umbrella?
It's a tiny ass umbrella. I mean, it's
was
me.
it pink?
It was cute as hell.
It's cute, not
So
functional.
both of you guys weren't able to fit
Yeah,
another
exactly.
umbrella?
So I was trying to cover her because she was my best friend. She was pregnant, so I'm trying to cover her. But in doing so, I didn't notice that I was splashing water on her. And I was also wearing boots. She was wearing heels. I didn't know. But in that moment when I was trying to scramble under the rain, she got mad at me and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Back up! You're getting water over me. You're being annoying."
Okay.
Yeah. And
Annoying?
then I said, "Bitch, you're being annoying. I'm going out of my way trying to help you out, trying to keep you dry while I'm getting rained on." And it turned into this huge thing because it was like two different realities happening simultaneously.
That's intense.
However, but to go on a little tangent, that whole moment was actually just the tipping point of something that was going on deeper. And so for me, I would communicate to her and I told her, I feel a lot of times I go out of my way for you and you take it the wrong way and I feel underappreciated and you get annoyed.
So that's what that was really about.
That's what it was
like
really
the
about.
root of that behavior.
Everything. Yeah, of me lashing out that way, right? Unfortunately, I will say I was younger. I didn't handle it as well. And instead of standing my ground and honestly giving myself that respect and standing my ground to be like, hey, I'm not moving forward until we can get to a resolution.
So what'd you do?
In that moment, because it was heated, we're saying all these things, I didn't know how to communicate as effectively. I actually apologized just to move past it.
Wait.
I know.
Back up. You apologize?
I did.
For what?
I did.
For what? For the rain? You know?
For getting her wet while you were trying to, like, while you were
I know. But yeah, and so ultimately there was no resolution from that. And I learned now that that was not the most effective way.
Wait, so then what happened?
Well, actually what happened then is
Did she buy some rain boots?
Did she buy an umbrella? This would have prevented it. She had her own umbrella.
What ended up happening was because I didn't communicate and I swept it under the rug, this problem still persisted. And it ended up being something that ended up kind of corroding the relationship. Boundaries weren't set. Things didn't,
The resentment got
the
built,
resentment
right?
was building. I didn't communicate. And then when it came to a point where I started to grow and I was like, hey, these are my boundaries. At that point of the relationship, we've already had such a dynamic that change was not seen as, hey, that's Anna setting boundaries. It was, she took it as, oh, Anna's being stuck up. Yeah. But it was, I know. I know.
Like, not my best friend. You got her mistaken
Yeah,
for somebody
yeah.
else.
She said, what?
Oh, put it down.
Sorry.
We don't promote violence here.
She's texting.
Okay.
Look, I think with all of this said, it's very clear that forgiveness does not always equal alignment.
Yes.
Wait. What do you mean by
Okay,
that?
that wasn't a math equation.
No, you said, but it is.
I said forgiveness does not always equal alignment. And what I mean by that is just because you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that you see the situation the same way. Like you said, communication bridges realities, right?
Yeah.
Just because you say, I'm sorry, or somebody said that they were sorry, it doesn't mean that now the realities are bridged and they're like, oh, I see what you see now.
Yeah.
And forgiveness can happen on a lot of different levels. And you'd be surprised, not all forms of forgiveness is that healthy.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Can you break that down for me?
Like, break it down. Break it down.
I didn't know you had that move, Lisa. I'm a little impressed.
Wait, was that the robot?
That's a broken arm, yo. No, it's a broken arm. Robot's like the
It's from the robot.
It's a broken arm. It's a robot.
All right, enough breaking it down.
It's done broke down.
She done broke her arm.
It's been broke down.
She broke it down so hard her arm went like this.
I need some WD-40.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
All right.
That's enough breaking it down. What I was trying to say was some people forgive to erase conflict.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry this ever happened. This should have never happened. It'll never happen again. They just want to sweep everything under the rug, pretend it didn't happen, and avoid all signs of pain, all signs of discomfort, and just try to suppress and delete from their memory.
Yeah, and that's a disservice. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience, right? It's like it's a disservice to yourself. It's a disservice to everybody else. And it's not fair.
Yeah, and I think people do it because honestly, they just think they can just delete things from their memory.
No, it's still there. It's not deleting.
It feels like an easier way.
You delete it from your consciousness and
it's
stored it
still
in
there.
your subconsciousness.
Yeah, and if anything, it's gonna take root and turn into resentment, and now you got a bigger problem to deal with because you didn't want to deal with it when it was a baby.
And that's where tension comes in. Circling back to the beginning, right? I'm so glad you confirmed that. But another form of forgiveness that I've seen is that people end up blaming themselves.
Right.
Like they cut a piece of themselves out and say things like, you know what? it was my fault. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
I suck anyway.
Yeah. They just think that cutting themselves out and giving it away is gonna somehow magically make everything better or fix things or transform things. But
You're not a
doesn't.
martyr. You don't need to do that.
Yeah. And I noticed those are the self-sabotaging people that just do that all the time.
I know, and it's not like they choose it, right? But also, you can also choose to not do it.
Yeah.
You get me?
You don't need to diminish yourself.
Yeah, and it's not healing at all. And
I think that's a key right there. It's not healing.
yeah. And I know it's easier said than done. But it's also doing the hard thing, which is figuring out how to do it in a different way, is just as hard as not doing it.
Yeah.
So, but I do feel that there is healthier ways to forgive.
Yeah.
The other healthy way to forgive is the form that leads to real growth. And a form of forgiveness that has accountability, transparency, and it sounds something like this. I'm seriously so sorry that this has happened. I can see now where I contributed to this mess up. And I'm committed to doing better. I appreciate the feedback and this opportunity to learn how to be better. And I will do better. And thank you for giving me this chance to continue on this journey with you.
That's guilt.
I agree. Approve.
I can imagine if your boyfriend was really giving you a good apology and be like, you know what, baby girl?
I mean, but
so
just on what you said,
sorry.
baby girl. All right. I forgive you.
I'm imagining her boyfriend just apologizing and she goes, cute.
It be like that sometimes.
I love it though. Keep it simple, right? But that kind of forgiveness is ownership. It leads to growth. There's no self-shame. There's no self-sabotage. Yes, there's self-accountability, but that's actionable, right? But if you go and cut yourself out in guilt and shame, that's not actionable. That's sabotage,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? And finally, there's an even better way to forgive.
Tell 'em.
And it's the most powerful kind. It's the kind of forgiveness that is just holding space of what is. And it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree. It's just holding a space of love. And that sounds something like, I am so sorry that my actions has caused you pain. I value you. I want to work towards a healthier relationship. It's not pretending. I'm not promising. I'm not forcing. I'm just showing her that I love her or I love this person and I'm willing to do whatever it takes for my love to be communicated. And that means being at peace with what is and what isn't.
Yeah. I forgive you. You said it to me like that. I forgive you. Water under the bridge.
I really love that last one because it really is love that brings it all together. And love, when you remember love and light, it's the root of everything. And I love how you point out there's different layers of forgiveness. And it shows that forgiveness isn't just one thing. It's about why and the intent.
Yes. And I feel that I actually experienced all these different levels and layers of forgiveness just throughout my life, right? Some being not as effective and then some being more. Just like I said before, I experienced forgiving just to put it under the rug, even though I was still hurt, all the way to forgiving, even though I may not agree 100%, but I love them and I want to forgive to hold space because love overcomes all.
Yes.
I love that. So beautifully said.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, call 1-800-ANNA.
1-800, the best bestie.
I'll sprinkle some love on you. Yeah, and forgiveness is the glue that fills the cracks of conflict in relationship. But a best bestie isn't formed by apologizing to every single conflict that happens. A best bestie quantum leaps the friendship when they have honest conversations.
Ooh, that's good. Say it again.
I
Quantum
said
who?
a best bestie quantum leaps in friendship when they have honest conversations. I love
Okay,
that.
yep, for sure. We all know that On tells you exactly what you need to hear, but maybe not exactly when you want to hear it.
Hey.
That's a good friend.
Hold on. I have gotten a lot better at that.
Yes, but your words are sharp. Your tongue does. Oh, your tongue is sharp and your words cut. But yes, you've gotten better.
Thank you. Thank you.
We love you. Oh no,
Cheeto.
I suspect it's because I grew up Vietnamese.
Me too.
Wait, what does that mean?
It makes sense.
What does that mean?
Okay, sure.
But I've been really working on it.
Yeah.
And I found a new way to reframe it.
Okay.
And I call it Tender Truths.
Ooh, what's Tender Truth? That sounds like a song lyric or something. I don't know what it is, but I think I need some of that.
Did you say tenderloin?
I definitely did not say tenderloin. I said tender truths. What is tender truths? Tender truths is having safe, open, and honest conversations that are led with love and light. I used to start my conversations with the point and the punchline.
Yeah, she did.
You see, I'm learning that the very first thing to tender truths is something I call setting the stage.
I like that. I like that.
Setting the stage is creating a space of safety and trust before anything is even said. You create the stage by having a consent to speak at a certain depth.
Right.
For example, if I said, Anna,
Yes.
I have something heavy on my mind and heart,
What's going on?
and I want to talk to you about it.
Okay.
But I'm afraid what I have to say might be offensive.
Ooh, it's one of those. Okay.
Okay,
But
buckle up.
is now a good time to talk about how I feel, because I don't want to feel this way anymore, and I want to work towards how to grow past this.
That's good. But that right there is a nugget. That right there is a golden nugget. Because a lot of times we go for the jugular. And I get it. I really do. But what I found is that there's a more effective way. Like you said, setting the stage, asking for permission first to be able to speak freely. And when you ask for permission, and you know, and both of you guys know that whatever is about to be shared is coming from a place of no judgment, it's coming from a place of love and care, then you can freely flow. And I feel like a lot of times we miss that small point of setting the stage, and we wonder why we're walking on eggshells, and we wonder why we can't say what we mean.
It's so important. And I feel like not only do people skip this part, but they wonder why their words don't get through.
Yeah.
They wonder why they feel like they're talking to a wall sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But once you set the stage, I think it makes room for the next piece. And if you do it in this order, it executes beautifully. The second piece is setting your intention. Such as, Lisa, I first want to share how I feel by releasing this energy that I've been holding on to. I know what I might say not be your reality, but it's my reality. And my intention in sharing what I'm about to say isn't to hurt you. It's for me to voice out what has been my reality so that we can align our truths and work on being on the same page.
I love that. And it's so important to have both setting the stage and setting the intention so that your message can be clearly communicated and it can be clearly received by that person.
Yes.
Because you don't want to just talk to talk. You want to be heard, and you want to make sure that person is hearing you and what you have to say.
Yes. And setting the intention is the first shift from misalignment to first agreement. And then once you can get the agreement that, hey, we're going to figure this shit out, right? We got agreement. We're going to do this together.
agreed.
And then it's from that agreement, then you can finally shift into recalibrating into alignment.
Love that.
Which leads us to the third piece. Once you set the stage, once you set the intention, this leaves all the space for you to share your truth and listen.
And the thing is, nobody really talks about is just because you open up, it doesn't mean that you're going to walk away with an agreement.
Exactly. You might still see things differently, but you can still walk away with compassion. And that's how you lead with love and light. And honestly, you're gonna have disagreements. I would hope there's some disagreements here and there, because there's no way we're gonna agree on everything.
There's no way.
It's just not realistic. We would all be robots. So
That means that
I don't know why I'm so good killing the robot today. That was going to be on my bingo card this year. But anyways.
really killing the robot today. I agree with you. I don't think it's realistic at all that we can walk around, live our lives, and share the exact same reality.
Yeah.
That it's just highly improbable.
There's no way we're gonna have the same beliefs, same value. That's it.
And that
no,
only
there's no way.
emphasizes how important it is to have these conversations, have these tender truths, to fill that gap and bridge that gap between each reality, right?
Yeah.
And now let's talk about one of the biggest differences in how conflict plays out.
Yes.
Are you calling your bestie out or are you calling your bestie in?
Okay, so we all know what calling somebody out looks like, right? And I'm guilty of this, all right? Back in my younger days. It's loud, it's public, it's direct, it's damaging, and it's almost shameful sometimes.
And it's
Yes.
fucked up. Sorry. Sorry.
And it sounds something like this. It's like saying like, well, you're never there. You don't care. You don't love me. And the thing is with this type of calling out energy, it's a lot of blaming. It's a lot of finger pointing. And it's the fastest way to end and kill healing relationships.
And it's emotional projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is right.
But calling someone in, it's not just different, it's necessary. It's about inviting them into how you feel instead of calling them out. Right? Calling them out is reactive versus calling them in is responsive.
Ooh, I love
That's
that.
not just responsive, responsible. I remember a time when this showed up between us, actually.
Yeah.
I was venting to Anna about all this tension that was building up between you and I, Lisa. And this was kind of early on because honestly, I would just feel so many emotions and I had some really nasty thoughts come to my mind. Like I had a lot of things I wanted to say that I didn't really mean. And so instead of calling you, I called Anna and I just raw dogged all my thoughts with her. And I was saying all kinds of things that I would never ever want you to hear today. And I was just venting and I was just really just kind of sharing how I felt. And I remember saying, Anna, thank you for letting me vent. I'm gonna journal on what I do want to say to Lisa because I know I can clean up my words a bit and I'll just find a different time because I don't think now's a good time to really tell her this stuff. And you said something so profound to me. You said, I know that you love Lisa, but I think it's very important that she hears your raw emotion. And I was like, but why? It's only gonna hurt her. And I don't want to do that to my best friend. And you really shined some light on something that I didn't see at the time. And you said, because it wouldn't be fair if she didn't see how what she has done and said has affected you. I'm seeing how it affects you and this is how you really feel and she should see that too. And I just never really considered doing that because I love her so much and I would just not want to hurt her. And so much that I guess I was willing to, vomit on you so I can feel better.
Wanting to hurt her because of how you felt, that's really valid because we're like, oh, I don't want, because she's going through something. But when you love each other and you're going through these things, there's that safety to be able to share. And it's also giving her that opportunity to be strong. So giving her that feedback that she needs.
Exactly.
Right?
And I'm so grateful you spared me. But I'm also grateful that you were honest with me. And I'm grateful that you got a chance to breathe. But most importantly, I'm grateful that I was able to listen in a way that I wasn't jumping to being defensive.
Yeah. And honestly, after I just set the stage, set my intention, I just wanted to let this out. The moment I let it out, I immediately felt like I had more capacity to give you space, to hear out what you've been going through and to empathize with you. But I think before I could let it out, there was just no capacity. I was just like, I'm about to.
And sometimes we're like, oh, let me try to package this in such a collected way, but you lose that rawness. It's like, no, just be real. No, you fucking pissed me off. I love you though.
Yeah.
That's
basically what happened.
I love you. But you pissed me off.
And I think that only emphasizes the importance of like setting the stage and setting the intention. Because if the stage and the intention isn't set, then how it's so easy to get offended.
I know. And it landed when you spoke to her because instead of calling her out, you shared your raw emotions, but you let her in and you called her in.
She called me in.
Yeah.
I remember her setting the stage, saying, holding me accountable on what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then she set the intention like, I'm here to help you. I'm on your side. Let's do this better.
Yeah.
And so that was it was a beautiful moment. So thank you.
And that's the power of calling in instead of calling out. When you call somebody out, you immediately invite a defensive mode.
Yeah.
You immediately activate the shield of theirs to argue against what you're saying because you're challenging their values, you're challenging their belief system. And I think that's natural for anybody, right?
Yeah.
We all have a force field to
Yeah.
defend ourselves
Yeah.
if anybody threw attacking words at us.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you call somebody out. They have such a quick defensive that honestly the words didn't even get through.
Yeah.
So, but when you call somebody in, you make space for both of you to learn something that maybe you didn't even know yourself. And we owe it to ourselves, to our families, to our friendships, to not judge our emotions as right and wrong because we're human beings.
Yeah.
And the deeper we go into the relationship, the more raw the emotion gets anyway.
Yeah.
So who is it going to serve by avoiding those emotions instead of learning how to navigate, how to communicate, and how to transcend these challenges, right? And just because you feel hurt, it doesn't make you dramatic or emotional. Just because you get angry, it doesn't make you toxic. Just because you have these emotions, it doesn't mean you need to suppress them. Because if you express it in a way that leads to healing and not hurting, then I feel like anybody would make space for you.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to have these hard conversations.
Eat the broccoli.
It's really important to eat the broccoli. Otherwise,
I'm a leafy green.
Otherwise, if it doesn't happen, then the tension would have grown, that awkwardness would have grown, and then slowly we're just gonna start lurking on each other's Instagram stories, and that relationship is not gonna be.
Why
what
are
it
you
used to.
creeping on my story?
Exactly.
I know, right? It's a little weird. But it sucks. I'm sorry, excuse me. It fucking sucks. For real though. The slow fade away is energetically exhausting.
It's the worst. I feel like that's out of all ways that a friendship could end. Is the fade out is the worst. It's.
Are you sure? What about an abrupt end?
I would rather have because that one you know it's done. This one there's always like that lingering like what's
And
going
there's a lot of
on?
doubt. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of chatter.
There's no
Yeah.
closure.
Gray area.
Yeah, and it's like a soul tie. You're so
Yeah.
energetically connected.
No,
and it
because
just-
I mean, think about it. If you go into a room, you meet a bunch of new people, your energy's clean,
Yeah.
right? You speak freely, you're fully attentive. But imagine you walk in a room and there's somebody in the room that you just have some past baggage with.
yeah.
There's
like
just
how do I navigate?
There's like this avoidance, and you're like, oh, I'm talking to this person, but that person's over there, and then that person's over there who knows this person over there, and that person's over there who knows this about me, and I don't know what that about them, and I don't know that. And next thing you know, I'm rapping. Like
Eminem.
it's so many conditional thinking that it's exhausting. And when I tell you, don't waste your time, don't waste your fucking time because you think that you're handling it well. Let me tell you something. It's not necessary.
Nope.
You're burning resources that can be used to doing something else, such as giving it to people who deserve it,
Right.
living your best life, doing what you love. Oh, don't get me started. I can go on.
Keep going.
I done drank 2 Red Bulls. But here's what I can tell you. You can only meet people at the level that they're willing to meet themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they don't want to meet you,
Fuck them.
I mean, I was gonna say it's time to let it go, but you know, I kind of like your version better. Lisa, what do you think?
Yeah, fuck them.
Okay, guys, first of all, love and light first, and then fuck 'em.
So you mean leave them on red and post friendships loyalty posts on this?
Oh god, that's the most cringiest thing ever.
That's one way to do it. Or we can do something a little bit more peaceful, maybe.
Okay.
I'd say first, let's do some housekeeping.
Yeah.
Let's clear our own energies, do the inner work,
Yeah.
and then gently shifting relationships that aren't in alignment to where they need to be, right? But before you say, fuck them, I think you should ask yourself a few questions. Do I feel safe with this person? If not, protect your peace and say,
Fuck them.
thanks, Anna. And ask yourself, is there tension or is this toxicity? Because tension can be healed through tender truths and honest conversations, but we don't negotiate with toxicity. We tell them,
Fuck them.
and then you can also ask, have I cleared my own energy? If not, do the inner work. Because if you're clinging, you are not clear. You ask yourself, am I at peace with what is and what isn't? If it's meant to be, it will be. And if it doesn't, maybe it was just a season. Because look, losing friends is hard. It's really hard.
Yep.
It's probably one of the hardest things.
Especially when you know conflicts could have been worked through if both sides are willing.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes, though, letting go is the healing that's needed. Sometimes you realize, both of you guys realize that the relationship has run its course and it's no longer serving you, and it's okay to let it go. And so I say that because the story that I was sharing earlier with the umbrella, that relationship ended up fading out. So what first initially started as a very healthy relationship, two people loving each other, working things out, slowly changed as people grew, people changed, values changed, and became one-sided. And I remember there was a point when we really drifted apart, and I had a decision, and I asked myself, do I want to rekindle this? Do I want to have this conversation? And I know you guys were there when I was battling these decisions. And the breaking point for me, though, in that relationship was when I found out that when me and my ex broke up, I found out through the ex that she was actually speaking bad about my character.
Oh,
What?
Hell no.
Yeah. And so that was a breaking point for me, because for me in that situation, I was really hurt because I thought to myself, after all these years that I was down for you, after all these years I was loyal to you, after all these years I was there with you through all your ups and downs in your relationship, the moment I needed you, she actually never called to check up on me
Nowhere
after the breakup.
to be found.
Yeah, I never called to check up on me. And I said, in the moment I was down, instead of seeing how I was doing, you attack my character, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, whatever. Put it down. Put it down. Finger guns down. Finger guns
Are you
down.
sure?
We'll spare her another day.
Because it's loaded.
Yeah.
Anna, that must have been really tough.
Yeah.
But
It was.
It sounded like you handled it with a lot of heart, though.
Yeah, it was the hardest breakup I've ever had.
Wow.
Worse than any ex, worse than any friend, because it was someone that I loved dearly. And I remember thinking to myself, like, how could she do that?
Yeah.
I could not think. I'm like, after all this, you talk shit about me?
That's wild.
I'm like, what?
That's really
and it was
hurtful.
crazy. And for a long time, I was very resentful.
Wow.
And it took me a whole year to go through the motions, heal, and finally get to a place where I had to do the inner work and say, you know what? I think it's time. I forgive her.
Wow.
But it was the hardest thing. I have to admit, it was the it was the hardest thing to do, because I wanted to stay in that position and point fingers and be like, she hurt me, she did this, XYZ, and I wanted to stay in that hatred. But the thing is, with hatred and pain and resentment, is that it doesn't hurt. It hurts. It hurts everybody, but what it really does is it hurts yourself.
Yeah.
It's poison.
Yeah.
You know that quote they say about poison?
Yeah.
It's
What
revenge.
is it again? What is it again?
It's like having anger and hatred towards somebody else
Yeah.
is like drinking poison and waiting for them to die.
Yes. And that was what was going on with me. And so after a year of what I needed to go through, I finally sat down and said, okay, I think it's time I resolve this.
Wow.
And I journaled. Actually, I journaled for hours, and I really broke it down. I, really went into it. And what I finally came down to was realizing that her talking bad about my character ultimately never had anything to do with me.
Oh.
What I mean by that is I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And if after all these years, that is the result which she has to say, that is not my problem. That is not my baggage to carry.
And that was there before you.
Exactly. And that is not my assignment. And so when I realized that that was something internal on her, I was able to look outside of myself and have empathy and forgive her. Because ultimately, at the base of all of this,
She's an angel.
at the base of all of this, through all the ups and downs and the angry stuff, I love her. She was someone that completely changed my life, right? And so when I was able to take myself out, take away the anger, I could look at her with empathy and love. And I asked myself, damn, what was she going through that she processed and took in all of this, and that is the meaning that she made out of all of this. How hurt and what is she going through, and that was your result. And so there's nothing I could have done. There's no one that I could have been. The result would have been the same, and it had nothing to do with me. And I finally was able to give myself the grace and gave myself the space to forgive and let her go and wish her the best energetically.
Powerful.
That's some wisdom right there. See, Anna, you inspire me. You know, I'm gonna have to take some notes on that because I'm not gonna lie, I took a little different approach. I had one friend that I did what I call the silent goodbye.
What's the silent goodbye?
The silent goodbye. It's not what you did. That was very noble. As a matter of fact, commendable. I would tell people that story at a bar.
This is what I did.
No, but my story, it's probably my first time telling you this story. A silent goodbye is when you feel exactly what you felt and decided that this friendship is no longer in alignment with me, but the difference is you don't say anything.
Girl, that's ghosting.
Oh, is that what that is?
You were being the guy.
Is that what ghosting is?
Ghosting? You ghosting a bestie?
I mean, I call it the silent goodbye. You know?
That's the same thing.
I just remember there was this one friend that we kicked it off really fast. We became friends really fast.
Yeah.
We did everything together. And it was one of those things where I'm like, wow, we're moving kind of fast, right?
Yeah.
And we all had this bright idea that, you know, we doing everything. We like each other. Let's go travel together. And we did our
Okay.
first international trip together.
Where'd y'all go?
Oh, wow.
We went overseas to Asia, and you know
Undisclosed.
what they say. You know what they say. If you want to see the strength of a relationship,
Wow.
go travel
That's
together.
true.
You get to know somebody real
I
quick on
know,
a trip.
So long story short, after this one trip that we went on, it was very clear to me that this person was not in alignment with me. But the hard part about this was, I mean, there was nothing they did wrong.
Damn.
Honestly,
Okay.
there was no crime being done, but I just felt like I couldn't vibe with this
Yeah.
person.
What do you mean? Like, I need some more specifics. Like,
Like,
I
what
know,
did she- what
I
did-
know
did
we
she
have to.
snore?
Was she smelly?
Was she messy?
Was she?
I
don't
feel like
know.
those things are tolerable,
Okay,
but I
okay.
think these things kind of just challenged me at its core. Like the way she would talk to people.
I
I just
a big one.
felt
That's
like
a
it
big
was
one.
very rude and
That's a
very
big one.
like, yeah, just
That's a character thing.
Yeah, it's a character thing.
Yeah, it's a character
You can't
thing.
change that.
You can't change
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
The way that she made decisions,
Yeah.
I feel like was very not only sloppy but like very sabotagey,
Inefficient.
and very
I
inefficient.
know she don't like.
I know.
she don't like it.
Is it inefficient? Is it inefficient? Is it inefficient?
I'm the type of person that likes things done in a very specific way, and I can live with that, right? I don't put that upon others. I don't
Yeah.
expect other people to understand or even agree with me. But I found it got to a point where I felt like I needed to put in extra energy to not get pissed off. I needed to put in extra energy to see things from that perspective.
And
'cause
we
there's-
are too old for that.
exhausting. And honestly, how do you tell somebody that,
Yeah.
you know? Like, and I wasn't the type of person that was self-righteous or
Yeah.
wanted to sit here and say, hey, I don't like the way you do things, do it my way, or why are you doing that? I felt like, honestly, that was a bad friend. I didn't feel good about that.
Yeah.
So I just, silently disappeared.
Ghosted a friend.
Okay, out of frame. But I mean, okay, look, listen. We're adults. And I always say this thing where not everyone deserves, deserve is a hard word, but not everyone gets to get access to you.
True,
You get to choose where you want to give access,
Yeah.
give energy,
Yeah.
and invest in.
Yeah. I need to know what the people think. I need to know what our listeners, our viewers think. Did An do the right thing? Or do you think that she should approach this differently?
I mean, I could learn some things from Anna, to be honest with you. But I mean, I still don't have the words today to have an honest conversation. I know there's definitely some healing that can be done there. And I know there's room for improvement for sure. But I feel like, you know, whoever is listening, I'm sure there's times that you've done what I did and there's times you've done what Anna did. But I think the point is, as long as we put our hearts forward, lead with love and light, and do our best to just be better versions of ourselves and a better friends to the people that we love, I think we'll all eventually figure it out, right?
Yes.
Okay,
no
okay.
judgment.
Okay. I want to hear about if either of you guys ever been in a fight with a friendship and you're about to lose the friendship, but you guys come back stronger.
Oh, I have a name for this one.
Okay, what?
I call it the sequel.
Oh,
That's when
she's always so good at like naming things.
That's when you have a friend fall out.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you get renewed for a new season.
I have a story. Well, actually, and it wasn't almost fallout. No, we had an actual fallout, and then we came back.
Okay.
So the tea.
All right.
Let's buckle up for this story.
So it was my high school best friend. Like we were like ride or die together. We were like crazy in high school.
Okay.
Love her to death.
Did y'all grow up together?
We didn't. It was mainly high school.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it was mainly high school.
okay.
And then I ended up moving to California. Life changed, career change, location change. Fell out of touch. Totally cool. And what happened was I came back from California. I started going to these events with my friends and my brother, and she showed up one day, and I was like, "That's interesting," but I didn't really think much of it. I was like,
you're like, "Hey, you're my best friend."
I was like, "Good to see you." I was just glad she was there.
Yeah.
And I didn't really question it. And then, some time went by, and then another event, she popped up again. I was like,
How'd you get her?
yeah, I was like, did you invite her? I didn't invite her. Did you invite her? I was like, oh, okay, well, it's all cool. I'm glad you're here. And I'm a little slow. I didn't really put the dots together.
Wait, what dots?
And so what happened was my friend, because they were hanging out before I came back from California. So I didn't know. So when I came back, my friend ended up telling me and pulling me aside. She was like, Anna, I can't take it anymore.
What?
I can't keep lying to you. And my friend, not this best friend, another friend.
Okay.
And the friend was like, her and your brother are fucking. They're hooking up.
That's disgusting.
And I was livid.
Oh, where are you?
So
I know, sorry.
did you see the signs?
I did, and I mean, okay, so the thing is, now looking in hindsight, I remember when we were younger, she used to rollerblade to my house, and my aunt was like, "Oh, she has a crush on your brother." And I was like, "Nah, that's good." It was like back when we were like 18. I was like, "Nah." I was like, "She could." She's like, "Why would she bring donuts?" I'm like, "Cause I love donuts."
Oh my, the scandal.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, I was.
You do love donuts.
I do. I actually do. Krispy Kreme, okay? Lisa's man, okay? Krispy Kreme with the dim sum and bubble tea.
Damn, that's 3 items.
I love to eat. But I was livid, and I was so pissed because I found out through somebody else, and I was like,
Okay.
"You didn't tell me. My
That's
brother
fair.
didn't tell me."
That's fair.
And what happened was I sent her. I'm not proud of this, and I sent her a really long, nasty text, and it was a complete low blow. Complete low blow. No, when you say it like how low, it was out of pocket. Like I weaponized things that were shared in secret that was supposed to be safe. That honestly, if I were in her position, I don't know if I would be able to forgive myself. Because
Anna, you said this?
it was terrible.
Wait,
yeah.
my angel
Your
Anna?
angel Anna? No.
Yeah, and it was, and
How bad was it?
it was terrible. Like I would not forget. I don't know if I mean, who knows? Who the hell knows? But it would be hard, right?
Wow.
And so then we had the falling out. I sent the worst message ever. And I was at a grocery store and I saw her because some time had passed and I saw her. And I completely forgot everything that happened. She forgot. Freaking goldfish memory. And I was just excited to see her because I love her. And I was like, hey. And she looked at me, she mugged me, and she walked past me. And then I remember as she walked past, I was like, the hell? And then the flood of everything happened. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh yeah, I did send that message. And I was like, oh shit, my bad. And so as I'm walking back to the cash register, she's such an angel. She sends me a message and she says, hey, sorry, I didn't recognize you. She 100% did.
Oh, she did one of those.
Yeah, but it's I love her, and she was like, hey, I didn't recognize you. Sorry, I was in my head. Where are you? I want to come say hi.
Wait, this is at the same grocery store.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the cashier?
This is within like a minute. Immediately she messaged me, right?
Can you imagine? Boop, boop.
Yeah. And so she was like, hey, where are you? So she comes to the cash register, and immediately we just like hug it out. And I'm like crying, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
And then the cash register's like, boop, like, cash or credit? Hold on. Credit. It was back before touch pay was the thing. Hold on, I gotta get it on my wallet. And we ended up talking it out. We squashed it.
That's beautiful.
And I'm so grateful for her because she showed me so much grace. And we actually laugh about it now. And we're so much closer now. And I'm just so grateful. She showed me grace in a way that I didn't know was possible, which is really funny because anyways.
That's amazing, but it really shows how love and light can root a friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was even though all that happened, what it really showed me was that the friendship that we had prior to all that happening, that's how strong it was. That even though that message was terrible, she had in her heart to forgive. And we were able to resolve it together.
Yeah. And sometimes love is bigger than the mistake.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. Say that one more time.
Sometimes love is bigger than the mistake.
Damn. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I love that, Anna. So here's a journal prompt for you. I want you to sit down and think to yourself and write it down and give it some space. Don't just think about this for 1 minute. I'm talking about scan your entire life and ask yourself this question. What is still heavy on your heart that you wish you could heal with a bestie? It doesn't have to be a bestie today. It could be a bestie at any point in time in your life. And it doesn't matter the depth of the relationship. It just means who do you have love in your heart for that you have not let out, that it's not known to them. And when you journal about it, you might find it surprising that the act of journaling itself is a healing practice.
Yes.
Whether you write them a gratitude letter, a forgiveness letter, any kind of letter, you don't have to necessarily give it to him, but there's power in writing it because it's healing for you.
Say the things that you're holding back. Speak from your heart. You don't need the perfect words. You just need the courage.
Maybe that's what I was missing the other day when I did the silent goodbye. And if you're not ready to reach out yet, start with yourself. Record a voice note just to let it out, let that energy out, and just listen back to it and see where the pain is in your voice, where the pain is in your words. And like I said, write a forgiveness letter or a gratitude letter. Whether you give it to them or you burn it or bury it, it doesn't matter. It's the act of doing it that's healing. And sometimes clearing your own heart is the biggest step.
Yes, absolutely. And so whether you're forgiving or letting go, both take courage. And both of them it require you to come back to love, right? I know today we're talking about the fine line, but ultimately the line always leads back to you.
Take care of your heart, besties. And when you can, call them in. Always, always, always lead with love and light. And if you tried that, and if you must, fuck them.
Look, if you're loving this episode, help us help more people. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and always comment your thoughts. Share us your stories of your fine line because we love reading it. We love hearing from you. And lastly, send this video directly to a bestie that you want to grow a stronger, deeper friendship with. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Best Bestie. Bye.